Hi, my name is Jasmine Alexander. I'm a senior at Georgia Southern majoring in accounting and information systems. I'm also a Parker Business Scholar as well. Today we'll be learning more about the Enterprise System and Analytics Department and specifically the majors within information systems. Today I'm joined by Professor Bob Szymanski and he'll be helping us learn more about that.
Thank you. I'm actually kind of old, new, or new old, whatever you want to call it. I was previously at Georgia Southern from 2010 to 2014 and returned fall of 2022 in the Enterprise Systems and Analytics Department. I teach the intro to ERP class in our major, as well as the ERP configuration class in our major. Besides being a faculty member, I'm an SAP consultant. I've been teaching in higher education for almost 25 years and been an SAP consultant since 2008.
So many students watching today may not know about Enterprise System and Analytics or information systems. So since your department is Enterprise System and Analytics, can you explain what all of that is for students who may not be familiar with it?
Sure. First, I want to tackle maybe the misconception of what Enterprise Systems, Analytics, and even information systems is. It is about business. A lot of students think when they hear information systems that it's technology and it's, they have to learn how to code and program, and really that's not it at all. It's about the business, and it's about understanding business requirements and translating those requirements to some of the developers and IT people to make sure that the systems and technologies help run the business. Enterprise systems itself is a much broader term for the entire enterprise, just as it describes. So enterprise systems are technologies that run the entire business, and analytics is using the data that's created to help make business decisions. Today there's some technologies, things like digital transformation, including machine learning, robotic process automation, Internet of Things. This is real-time data. These are real-time systems. They're complex. And data is being created at exponential rates today. And being able to manage that data, analyze it, and understand what's taking place is really critical to success in today's business.
So as students, one of our goals upon graduation is entering into a career field that we enjoy. So as a student within information systems, how would you recommend that they build their resume while they're studying?
Well, first of all, we're kind of unique, Enterprise Systems and Analytics, in that in colleges of business, there's typically various disciplines like accounting and finance, econ, marketing, etc. And those are very functionally oriented. In enterprise systems, you have to have an understanding of end-to-end business processes. So we touch on all those different functional areas of the business. So one of the most important things that students can do when they're building their resume is to really reinforce the fact that they understand the end-to-end business processes and they understand how the technologies support those business processes. Other things that I think are really critical for students today in terms of their success, I always recommend when they have an opportunity to get an internship. The internship to make sure that this is the field that they're really interested in pursuing, and they might even find out that perhaps there's a company or two out there that's a good fit for them. So building resumes in terms of their business knowledge, and also building a resume in terms of what they're able to do and get some practical experience, not just what we do in the classroom, but also out there for maybe internships and things of that nature.
Going along with that, what are some of those key skills that students develop within the classroom or outside of the classroom as they're studying information systems or enterprise system and analytics?
So from a student perspective, I think it's very important not only to learn about the different aspects of business, but to gain a real working knowledge of the tools that they're going to use in business. In our enterprise systems focus, we use SAP software. SAP is the world leader in enterprise systems. Interesting statistic, 87% of the total global commerce is generated by companies that run SAP. So when our students are taking their classes, they're using the most up-to-date software that these Fortune 100 companies are using out there to run their businesses. From a skill standpoint, what we really want our students to be able to do is to understand business requirements, translate those business requirements to the IT folks to help build the technologies that drive and support the business. And that's what they're getting from our classes. From an analytics standpoint, they're also using tools that are used out there in the workplace, things like Power BI, Tableau, etc. So students are not just using academic versions of the software, they're using the real thing and getting that experience.
So you previously mentioned internships. What sort of career fields do information system students pursue upon graduation, and what kind of companies do they work for?
Oh, they work for a lot of the Fortune 500 companies. Companies like, we've had students who've graduated work for KPMG, Textron Industries, Apple, Home Depot, and you can go on and on and on. These are some large companies. There's basically two paths that students generally go. Of course, it's more open than that, but students could go out there and be a functional user in a system. So they may be working in a functional area within a business like Home Depot, and their understanding of the technologies and the enterprise systems themselves or the analytics help support those functional areas. Another common area where students go are as business analysts or as consultants. And as business analysts or consultants, a lot of times they're often on projects. They get deployed on projects for systems implementation. And that's a really successful career path, a difficult one because it's not easy to do a lot of traveling, but students who take that career path typically learn on the job and they grow and develop rather quickly.
So our final question for you is, what do you enjoy most about teaching information systems at Georgia Southern?
What I enjoy most is when I get an email from a former student who I maybe had 5, 10 years ago and says, you know, I took your class and I'm now doing the things that we talked about in class. That is really satisfying. And I measure my success on your success. So when I see students that are out there who are successful in the business world, who have successful careers, and I'm not ashamed to say are probably making a lot more money than I do, that is incredibly satisfying. And when I see that happening, then I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. My goal is to pave a path to success for those students, and it's great seeing that.
So you previously mentioned internships. Can you speak a little bit more about the kinds of career fields that information students pursue upon graduation, and what companies do they work for?
Sure. First, I want to tell you that the demand exceeds supply. I have more companies reaching out to me to recruit students than I have students. I have more companies wanting to speak to my classes than I have class time to offer them. So the demand in this field is growing, and I think it's a great opportunity for students at this point to seek that path. Our students who go through information systems are typically functional users in an enterprise, so they may use software like SAP to support different functional parts of the business, but many of them also go on to be business analysts and also consultants. They work for companies like IBM, Deloitte, KPMG, and from a functional standpoint, a lot of students work with some of these Fortune 100 companies, Apple, other companies that our students have worked for like Textron, Flowers Foods, et cetera, Gulfstream, which is a very local company too. So they can find successful career paths going through the Enterprise Systems and Analytics program.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure this was very helpful for a lot of students out there.
Well, thank you for having me here today. It's been a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope after hearing this, you'll consider pursuing information systems as your major in the Parker College of Business.